Sorry about that. I used the Screenomatic and I'm using the free version, so I was cut off there. So I'm going to just follow up with what I was saying last. So judging and perceiving is really reflecting how a person implements the information that he or she processed. So judging means that that person organizes events, as a rule, sticks to plans, has follow through. Perceiving really is looking more at being inclined to improvise and explore alternative options. So with that, you could see where on a team, you would need at least one of each of those types of people, because great to have a leader who can plan and organize, but what happens when the unexpected happens? Things they didn't necessarily plan for. That other person on the team will be great to be able to say, okay, let's have a look at this problem. Okay, let's come up with some other ideas. What else could work here? And they're really adaptable and flexible and ready to take on that challenge. So whichever one you got, you can add to a team. Again, this really is about being able to promote yourself. So when we look at the 16 different personality types, you can see the first letter stands for E for extroversion or I for introversion. The second letter stands for the personality type acronym. It corresponds to the preference within the sensing or intuition dimension. So the S stands for sensing, the N stands for intuition. The third letter in the personality type corresponds to your preference within the thinking or feeling. So if it was T, that stands for thinking, and F stands for feeling. The fourth letter in the personality type acronym corresponds to a person's preference with judging or perceiving. So J for judging and P for perceiving. So if we went and looked at this further, so I'm just going to click on one of these personality types. So if you happen to be an ISFJ or introverted sensing, feeling, and judging type person, let's have a look and see through this information, what could you pull that you could really highlight to an employer? So your strengths. Some of the things listed here aren't necessarily strengths, but you can turn them around to show how they really would help an employer and show your added value. So ISFJs are characterized above all by their desire to serve others, their need to be needed. They have a strong standard, give and take relationships, don't really work for them necessarily. It's not satisfying to them. Down under here, I like this one. So they are often unappreciated at work, home, and play. Ironically, because they prove over and over they can be relied upon for their loyalty and unstinting high quality work. So there's a couple things right there that you might want to look at. Loyalty and high quality workmanship, or a strong work ethic, right? ISFJs are often taken advantage of at work, right? They're notoriously bad at delegating, so they have that thought, if I want this done right, I'm going to have to do it myself. You wouldn't necessarily want to go and promote that, right? But what you might want to promote instead is, I take ownership for projects, right? I take ownership and then pride. Let's go down a little further. They're methodical and accurate workers. They have good memories, unexpected analytical abilities. So you wouldn't necessarily want to put that you have unexpected analytical abilities, but you could certainly promote that you have analytical and logical, you're a logical thinker, right? They make pleasant and reliable coworkers because they're a really good team player. They're willing to take stuff on, right? So going through whichever link is yours, your personality type, you can learn a lot of valuable information. And what you really need to think about is, okay, I can be confident I have these strengths. Going forward, it can help me promote those strengths, know what strengths to promote. I've talked to lots and lots of students who really, when asked the question, why should we hire you? They have no answer, right? They're not sure what would make them better than someone else in the class, who they think is a really good student and really knows their stuff. So it's important to start to break down, realize your differences, realize your uniqueness, realize that you could bring added value to an employer based on your personality. So that's why we did include this as part of an assignment, so that you could really look at that. We're going to be using this. We're going to be going back to this as you're building your resume, your cover letter. You might be able to use some of this information. Each one of you, like I said, are different and bring something else to an employer. So even though you may be in the same program, you do have uniqueness about you. And learning more about that and learning how to promote and market your skills is really key. Even being able to talk about yourself in an interview, what our employer is looking for, that kind of information. So that's what this will help you to do, and we'll continue to go back to this and review it. I wish you all the best for the rest of the week. If you do have questions in regards to either lab or seminar, please feel free to email me, and I will be checking my email regularly while I'm away.